Let's take a look at the papers. Now, Dominic Cummings, chief advisor to the Prime Minister, is pictured on the front page of the Daily Telegraph. The newspaper says that Mr Cummings is at the beginning of the end of his time in Downing Street, this according to their sources.
Daily Mail is calling for ministers to relax stringent coronavirus restrictions and prioritise mass testing in care homes to ensure residents do not spend Christmas by themselves.
BBC News has also been looking ahead to Christmas, reporting that a number of European countries have warned that it's too early to plan for Christmas travel as coronavirus cases continue to rise across the continent. In the UK, discussions have taken place about the four nations taking a joint approach to Covid rules over the Christmas period. There's no official advice as yet.
And The Guardian has the first British newspaper interview with the scientist behind the first Covid-19 vaccine, who says he is confident his product can bash the virus over the head and put an end to the pandemic. Also pictures the boxer Nicola Adams and Katya Jones, who've had to pull out of Strictly Come Dancing because Katya has coronavirus. Rather like the scientist's terminology there. Avoiding the scientific terminology is bash it on the head.
What?
The scientist in charge of the Covid-19, whose vaccine is,
yes,
used the terminology you wouldn't necessarily expect it, which he thinks it will bash it on the head.
Clear.
Straight
Very
talking.
clear.
Like that.
How much do you like a cheese board at Christmas?
Oh, that's a nice thing, yeah.
Do you think you would use more packaging if your cheese was packaged as a square block or a rectangular block?
More if it were rectangular. Actually, I don't think there's any difference, is there? It's just the size of the cheese.
You wouldn't think so, but apparently at Christmas we're now going to see more cheddar sold in rectangular lumps. Tesco has found that changing the traditional shape of cheese saves a huge amount of plastic packaging. Also, the manager of cheese buying at Tesco said that the chunkier pack sizes would make cutting, grating and slicing simpler. I don't know how that works, although I have had that thing, you know, when you have a rectangle of cheese and you're grating the whole thing and then it kind of chunks off and then you're left with that annoying chunk. Maybe with a square one it wouldn't.
These are real issues. If you had a nice cheese board and you wanted to swan up to it casually, maybe you'd like some slippers, men's slippers. It's the weekly Friday fashion slot in which Daily Telegraph today is talking about the joy of slippers, and it's doing a selection of slippers. Because of lockdown, so many people working from home, apparently rise of sales of slippers, some of which are very, very expensive. For example, I give you the velvet opera pumps.
Oh, I love
these ones here. I don't know if you can see these ones. They're quite sort of raffish. That's £350 for those, and they've got a kind of a little bow effect on the front, which is probably where the money is.
What was your fashion tip? What was your fashion tip last week? Was it lemon boucle? I don't know how to pronounce it. Jackets.
I can't remember.
Wasn't it?
It's quite a combo we're coming up with.
Yeah, I'm enjoying your Charlie's fashion slot.
18 minutes past 6 is the time.
Now, of course, Children in Need is back tonight, celebrating 40 years. And rewind just for a moment to 1987, and we'll find here five-time Paralympian and wheelchair basketball athlete Anne Wilde. She says Children in Need made a huge difference to her.
Even then, I knew the value and how grateful I was for the help that I got with the chair. It actually opened up a door to me that wouldn't have been opened otherwise. I just literally wouldn't have been able to get into the sport. And then, you know, when I was able to get into the sport, I flew from there. And, well, I was so lucky, 5 Paralympics later, right, here I am.
And you can hear Anne's story in full on BBC London later on our 1:30 and 6:30 programmes tonight. For details of how to donate, simply head over to the bbc.co.uk/Pudsey.